The last time Afaf Razawi saw her son Bassem was November of 1978. He left their home in Beirut and said he'd be back in the afternoon to have lunch with his sister. That day I saw him around noon, she says. I told him I made chicken and potatoes. He said he would wait to eat with his sister Sausan, and he went out. Bassem never came home, and almost 40 years later, Afaf still doesn't know what happened to him. At the time, people in the neighborhood said he was taken at a checkpoint, but the leads went nowhere. For years, competing militias ran the streets of Lebanon. Bassem is only one of tens of thousands of Lebanese who went missing during the country's civil war. Now Afaf is taking a step toward finding answers for her family. The ICRC is taking samples of saliva from her and her 2 children, which could eventually help her know what happened to Bassem on that day in 1978. Samples like these will be collected from thousands of families. The hope is one day they can be matched to human remains found around the country, and that will provide answers to relatives who until now don't know the fate of their loved ones.
For the families, they need an answer.
Megan Bassendale is a Canadian forensics advisor with the ICRC.
If we can find their loved one, to be able to return those remains so that they can properly bury them, properly mourn them, and have a place to visit.
Many of those still unaccounted for are likely buried in mass graves around the country. Eventually, these samples could be matched with the remains and provide answers. Without answers, many, like Afaf, cling to the hope that their missing relative is still alive. God gave us a gift and he took it away, she says. I hope Bassem comes back to me, but I don't know. But answers and closure may still be far off. There's little political will from Lebanese leaders today to dig up the mass grave sites found around the country, and even less desire to dig into the past of Lebanon's bloody civil war. Rebecca Collard, CBC News, Beirut.